what is going on. What's up? I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes, let people jump on in, because what's going on right now out in Minnesota is crazy. So I just wanted to jump on and actually kick it with my people and talk about it, because it's just crazy. This is what happens. What we're seeing right now is what happens when people get radicalized. People get radicalized to the point that they can no longer make good decisions. I'm not sure if y'all are up on it, but check out what's going on out there in Minnesota. What's up, Crypto Revo? FMC 9917 from Stockton. What's up? Grass Thief. Thank you, Brian. Awesome job. More platforms need to be more direct of the evil plans. Of the plans of the evil ones that run the world. Is not about Democrat or Republican, about good versus evil and aligning with our Lord and Savior. Correct. DTA, happy Father's Day weekend. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there too. Just me, Mr. Cool. Good afternoon. What's up, brother? Reggie Burke out from Wisconsin. What's going on? Letitia Damian, I apologize if I got that incorrect, from Vegas. Andrew Narayan checking in. What's up, Andrew? Tampon Tim has a lot of explaining to do. I agree. Lisa, how you doing? Lisa Shipe or Lisa Ship? Tiffy Ruggles, so very tired about Airborne 156. What's up, Kim KW? John Anas. Hey, I'm on, I can keep giving shout outs, but if y'all seeing this craziness that's going on out there in Minnesota, and it's sickening, because right now we got these, matter of fact, let's listen to what Tim Walz had.
We're here today because an unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were shot and killed.
I mean, this is the insane thing. This is what happens when you got left-wing extremists, radicals, that are, using propaganda, inciting people, getting them all excited where they're thinking Trump is Hitler and this in the democracy crap. And do y'all know, have you ever looked up the definition of democracy, not in the Webster, but from its origins, the word demo from the Greek, from Latin, and krasi from the French. I'm going to challenge you to look it up. The Latin root meaning of demo, D-E-M-O, and the French root meaning of C-R-A-C-Y. And you'll realize why these Democrats love using the word democracy. In a democracy, a small group of people make all of the decisions for the larger group. We also know that as socialism or Marxism, but they hide it under democracy, and the Webster's dictionary definition isn't even as accurate of what it was when it was initiated. We live in a republic where the majority rules rather than the small group. That's similar to like apartheid in South Africa. This is what the Democrats really want, where their party makes all of the decisions for you and for me. We just not going for it. Let's check out what Tampon Tim had to say.
Park Police Chief Snyder and Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley, as well as the mayor of Brooklyn Park. We're here today because an unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. Our state lost a great leader, and I lost the dearest of friends. Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota.
It's sad.
She woke up every day determined to make this state a better place.
It's sad.
She is irreplaceable.
It's unfortunate. Let me see what's going on. Let me jump into some of the live stuff, because they got this No King's Day thing going on, right? And now in Minnesota, the No King's Day has been canceled, right? So they canceled that, which is a great thing, because, again, it's just a whole group of radicalized people out there. And, okay. I apologize, y'all. Yeah, you got these people out there that were doing nothing more than no kings. And here's what really pisses me off about this no kings thing. We know there's no kings. If Donald Trump was a king, he wouldn't be dealing with this BS. He would have just pulled the guillotine out took them all and threw them somewhere and will be stomping through doing what he wanted to do. This is the greatest example of this man not being the king. So you got these left-wing extremists out here doing these quote-unquote protests, where in reality, have you seen these protests? Let's take a look at them. We're going to look at just how weak they really are, because the media is going to lie and act like, oh, these people are all out there going crazy. No. Now what's going to happen? Y'all going to see the anarchists are going to come out as it gets dark, right? So let's check this out. We're going to go to the No Kings protest. We're going to check this out live. Look at this guy. That's it. White illegals in Minnesota trying to steal this right there. Now, let me ask y'all this question. Let me turn the volume down. Are y'all aware that the shooter, the individual, is actually, he was appointed by Tim Walz to the board, like, of governors for the state? This man is a Tim Walz nominee. I don't know if y'all caught on to that, but yes, his name is Vance Boelter, Vance Boelter. He's a Democrat politician nominated by Tim Walz. This man commandeered a police vehicle. This man had the police badge. He is well connected. And what he did is that he acted like he was the police. And that's how the two people let him in the house and how they got hurt. That's how it happened. So these people were in their house. It's not like somebody showed up and said, hey, I'm a radical, I want to hurt you. Nope. This man had connections. He was nominated by Tim Walz, had a police vehicle, had a badge, had the uniform, and I'm not sure if y'all heard, they found the manifesto. There is a manifesto, and in the manifesto, there's a list of names of politicians' names. Now, what's one thing that y'all know about the Democrats and manifestos and information? One thing you should always know is that when they don't release it to the media immediately, when they don't turn it over and read it, you know that's because it proves this person is a socialist, Marxist, radical from the Democrat Party. When the name was released and we found out this is a Tim Walz nominee, appointee, I was mind blown, because I said, oh Lord, this Minnesota, some Minnesota politicians got hurt. And let me be frank. I don't want anybody to lose their life behind political ideology. I don't think that's cool regardless. I didn't agree with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but I would never want to see them just their lives taken. You know, it's not that, now, well, if somebody is doing something that's going to risk the country and cost all of us our lives, then that's different. But just bad policies or whatnot, I strongly dislike them. But if somebody would have went to their house and shot one of them, I would be responding the same way, that is horrible, that's terrible. Now, the fact that we have Democrat people that root on violence when it was done to the right, Ken Teslas, firebombing dealerships, they rooted that BS on. MAGA never went out and rioted in the streets when the 15 million illegals were brought in. Never. We were pissed off and we were upset and we went to social media, but we didn't tear up the town. Now let's flip it. Now the Democrats are out there tearing up the town. And these people have the audacity to compare it to a football game. Have any of y'all seen these analogies where they're comparing this to a football game? Like when the team wins and they tear up the city. I have yet, and it may have happened, I don't know. I have never seen people win a football game and light cars on fire and burn up buildings and loot businesses. I have never seen that, ever. But this is what the Democrats want us to believe is actually happening there. Oh, it's no different than a football game. I saw Whoopi Goldberg and those cackling hands of The View do it, and I watched some of these left-wing extremists online do it, and it's just a joke. Now let's look at this rally, and let me tell y'all something. These rallies around the country in Chicago and all that stuff, they haven't been playing out like they anticipated. So this is the actual footage from the No Kings protest in Los Angeles. Let's see if the ones, they got other ones. Let's look at the ones in Philly. Oh, here go President Trump. Is this on? Is the parade on? Did we miss the parade?
President Trump is really working overtime, as we know, responding to what took place over the course of the last few days with Israel striking Iran. We're watching that closely as well, as this president is all about peace through strength. He wants peace amongst nations. And we know from the Kennedy Center coverage the other night, he said just that. I want the Iranian people to flourish, and they have this opportunity now. Let me tell y'all something. I want to trade with them. I want to bring back.
Let me tell y'all something that I had somebody tell me today. Somebody was on Facebook, and I put up a post. And if you haven't already, find me on Facebook, Brian Maxwell. I'm on Facebook. Send me a friend request. But I had somebody had the audacity to jump on there and tell me they compared this to J6. They compared it to LA. Then somebody told me that the people that were out there in LA were Trump supporters. I said, you know what? You miserable liberals would do anything you can to make yourself feel better. There is no dang way that those are Trump supporters out there doing that stuff out there in Los Angeles at all. And we know, as a matter of fact, y'all, I don't even believe that these are people who actually strongly are protesting against the government. I believe most of these people are paid actors. Do you know that these people are getting $200 a day? Let me show you something. Let me show you this. And that way you won't say, Brian, you joking. No. And you may have seen this already, but I want you to take a look at something. Check this out. I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to have to switch screens up so you can see this. Let me find it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this.
Free. They're paying from 6 protesters. Craigslist ad has been found. And let me just start with, there's a lot of you guys that could be making a lot of money, and you're doing it all for free. They're paying from $6,500 to $12,500 a week, $12,500 a week. And they're saying you get paid whether we use you or not, which implies to me that you don't have to necessarily be out there right away. But when it gets bad, then they're going to expect you to be out there. I would say that they're out there now. Here's a little bit of what they're saying. If we are forming a select team of toughest dudes in the area, the unit will be activated only when the situation demands it. But if you get paid every week, you get paid every week no matter what. High pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. We need individuals who do not break, panic, or fold under stress. That basically all around kick-ass dudes. Physical strength, speed, conditioning is important, but mental toughness is everything. If you're not the biggest guy in the room, but you're the one people follow when things go bad, that's what we're looking for. They're recruiting for them. It's under Central LA General Labor Craigslist. They always advertise for it. This time, that's the most I've seen them pay. I'm going to leave it at that, because the ads are always out there if you look for them. Is this all over? It won't be over until they physically get in the streets, curfew. We've seen this game plan before. It's played out before. It'll eventually get squashed. And then they'll look back and say, look at how much destruction. It's probably going to be in the billions.
Wow. $12,000 a week. And let me give a couple of shout outs real quick, y'all. Simone Garcia, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. She said, love your channel. And the Tog Vlog, healthcare executive. Brian, thank you for providing factual content. Thank you for being a trusted resource. Thank you from the state of Georgia. Salute to the Tog Vlog, healthcare executive, and to Simone Garcia. I hope I pronounced that right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. But did you hear that? We talking about people getting up to $12,000 a week for going out. Now, let's be real. What they're asking for is crash dummies. And you say won't break, won't fold. That little $12,000 a week for them to a billionaire is nothing. But what can it cost this individual? The physical damage that they can get running up against the ICE agents or those Marines. Now remember now, because right now it's just ICE, the National Guard, And you even got some Marines that have been deployed. They not coming to play with those people. So you got these people, and they say upwards to 12,000. How much you want to bet most people never make close to that? As a matter of fact, they know anybody that's even responding to those ads, that are even searching for stuff like that, are probably low income to no income, not very politically educated, and they're so hard up, or should I say, they'd rather go out and be a crash dummy for the DNC than go get a job and be somebody for their family. And remember the last time, a few months ago, they were paying, and when you looked at the crowd, when they were going out there doing all of these pro-Palestinian stuff, no, they were showing up to the town halls for the Republicans a couple months ago. When they looked at it and they surveyed, I think it was something like 80% of those people were over 65. They were retired. Because you say, damn, how are these people out here during the day, all day, every day? They don't work? No, most of them were retired. And as you know, retired people are on a fixed income. So any extra money helps them. And they didn't have to risk their life. So, you know, they were cool with that. They were just shouting and screaming. But for this, you notice they're looking for young people that are willing to go out, that won't bend and won't fold, so they can get physically hurt. Not to mention, if you get arrested, now you got felonies on your background. So if you're not working today, catch a couple felonies, you're really not going to be working tomorrow. It's just sad. Let me check out some of the comments. Let me see what y'all talking about here. Thank you for bringing us the news from Angela Simpson. Thank you, Angela. James Brown, Brian, Melissa Hortman was shot in Minnesota. I know. Miss J&M Chavez, everything these evil people touch turns to crap. I agree. Simone said Tim Walz and the rest are complicit in the murders today, as well as the mainstream media. I agree. Peter Johnson, Tampon's fingerprints are all over it. Robin Webb, love your content. Thank you, Robin. Guys, Steve, we need to ask Jesus back in our lives. This is why this is going on. We forgot our Creator. You know, and I'm gonna agree with that, because if you remember back in the day, whether a person believes with the Christian values or they have another religion that they align with, when people were praying in school, the energy, the vibe, it's really hard to pray with somebody and then be pissed at them and want to fight right after. It's really hard to do that. It's something about joining hands and praying together or in unison in a room. That spirit is shared amongst those people in that room or in that building. When I was back in elementary school and middle school, it was a big deal if they called you to the office and let you do the prayer or the Pledge of Allegiance, you know what I mean, on the speaker. They used to come through in the classrooms. I used to act up in class. I was never one of them, but I used to wish that I could be one of them. But something about in unison at the school, we all pledged our allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Something about that unified us. They took that out. They took prayer out. And these Marxists are smart. They know the unifying power of that Pledge of Allegiance. Just think of the name itself. So when they got that removed and when they took prayer out, oh my God, again, regardless of your religion, but just the belief in a higher power that you are one to make proud of you, to impress, to show that you are worthy, will have you doing more things righteous than they would wrong. I feel like a person that's an atheist or a non-believer in nothing, that's got to be a miserable life. That's got to be a miserable life. They say faith is believing in things you can't see. We all need that. And whether somebody realizes it, whether they think it's just religion, it's not. Faith is the same thing of when I was a young man, just getting married and having children at 21 years old, saying, one day I'll make 100,000. One day I like to see what it's like to make $250,000, $500,000 a year. One day. That was faith that got me waking up every day, putting my boots to the ground, reading these books, learning until I hit that and exceeded that. It's faith when you marry that person and say, you know what, we're going to make this work for the rest of our lives, wife or husband, or, you know, that's faith that, hey, I'm going to come on this person and I know they're going to be with me. I trust it. Faith is the foundation of everything that happens good in our life, because it's not like it's happening right then. We got to have faith that it's possible and that it will come. So when they remove these things, man, it's like it it switched, and you could gradually see the country changing, gradually see things changing. And now think about these young people. Look at what they looking at going on. Let me go back to the live of the what's going on out there. Look at the young people. They don't have anything that they believe in. Does anybody know what time the Trump rally starts? I mean, did I miss the rally? The honoring of the military? Did I miss it? Because I had to take my grandson to get a haircut, and I did not pay attention to. Thank you, Deb. Your channel's awesome. They obviously want war. I say, let's give it to them. Get deputized, man. Hey, and let me ask you this. What do y'all think about this? Do you believe that as citizens, if things get, and listen, I know if y'all on here watching this, I already know the answer to this, but you know, I know, like I'm in Florida, and one of the people, the Democrat Party has lied about Florida since 2020, when the pandemic kicked off. They were lying, saying that our hospitals were overran, and you know, the COVID-19 was just rampant, and all of these people were losing their lives. Man, I would be talking to my parents and family members and be like, no, dude, our hospitals are laying nurses off. They're not packed at all. And they literally were. Because they had brought all of these people on thinking they were going to need them. And if you remember, in Florida, we were one of the first states that our governor said, hey, man, go to the beach. Enjoy yourself. He lifted them restrictions early. DeSantis, I love him. So, you know, they're not coming to Florida with that. I don't know. Did y'all see the press conference the sheriffs in Florida and Brevard County gave the other day? Didn't y'all see that, where he told them what's going to happen if you launch a brick at one of the police officers in Brevard County? What will happen if you spit an officer in Brevard County? He let it be known. And the Democrats, them liberals, did not like that. He told them flat out, we taking you out if you hurt one of our officers. Your mother and your family will be getting that casket and ordering that dress and that black suit. They were straight up and down. So if you come to Florida and mess around, you're going to FAFO. And a few of them have. You won't see that happening here. DeSantis and our sheriffs, the ones in Brevard County, and the good old Grady Judd, does not play around. Now, I know we got Vegas in the house. We got Wisconsin in the house. We got people from all over the country. What's going on in y'all states? Y'all seeing any rallies happening anywhere around? Oh, it's at 6 p.m. Who is that? Joshua, thank you, Joshua. 6:30. Joshua Davis. Oh, Cruel World says at 6 p.m. Joshua says 6:30. So at least we know between 6:30. So I'll be waiting at 6. Mary Diaz, yes, it was beautiful. Yurgi said no participation trophies for rising. No. B. Katrina, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it's crazy out here. Because now, you know, you got these folks and they all want to blame Trump. Have you noticed that? Oh, you know, if Trump wouldn't have sent the National Guard in, here's what majority of people didn't know. Even though President Trump sent in the National Guard, they did not engage. They were just standing to the side initially when they were saying how all the National Guard, when everything was going crazy, the National Guard had not even engaged. And please remember something too. You will not see rallies anywhere, or should I say, let me stop saying rallies, riots anywhere around the country like what you saw in LA. And there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, they're paying the people. These are paid actors, crisis actors, a lot of them. That's number one. Number two, that's the home of Hollywood. Now, let me see in the chat. I just want to see if y'all picking up what I picked up. What movie, when you saw the picture of that person on the car waving that Mexican flag, had on no shirt, like khaki type pants with a mask on, what movie jumped out at you when you saw that? What movie did that imagery remind you of? I want to see what y'all say, because I'll tell you. Let me see what somebody say. Yeah, Wendell, they pay $200 a day. We just watched a video where they're actually upping it to like $12,000 a week. The Court of Public Opinion says Trooper Jeremy Plonsky update. What did I say? Trooper Jeremy Plonsky update. Google Trooper Jeremy Plonsky for the update. Oh. I thought he was saying, thank you, Jeremy. Now, but Escape from New York, Sandy said, Candy said Red Dawn. Now, let me ask you this. Have any of y'all ever seen The Purge? The Purge. Think about The Purge. And I'm talking about the one that was The Purge Forever. The newer one that came out. Guess what? It was right on the border of Mexico. And it had Mexican people in it. And the people were standing on the cars, burning them. Hollywood took the imagery from The Purge and had their actors reenact that. Think about how that car was just so perfectly graffitied up in that spot. And how do the pallets of bricks get there in advance, already knowing that the people are going to be there? How did they know that people are going to be right there by this big, humongous pallet of bricks? And then what about the riot gear? Did y'all see the trucks of riot gear and gas masks that were being dropped off? Get out of here. Anybody that believes that this is genuine, they're playing themselves. There is nothing authentic about what's going on right now at all. Nothing. That's why you will not see any rioting as vicious or as bad as you saw in LA. Think about Hollywood. They're great at imagery and propaganda. No different than the Kamala Harris campaign. I'm sure y'all knew this, but maybe you didn't. Did you know that Steven Spielberg allegedly, even though it's not alleged, and I forget the other two directors, I want to say I think even George Lucas was helping out. Do you know that they were helping script out Kamala Harris's campaign? And I'm not talking about sitting in the room taking notes. They handled the imagery when she had an event, when she spoke at the podium, it was Hollywood, literally Hollywood. They had Hollywood directors running Kamala Harris's campaign. That's how fake this party is. Remember even the phone call she made when she was like, oh, thank you, congratulations, such and such. Her silly behind turning the phone around to show that you wasn't on the phone with anybody. Or that fake call she got from Barack and Michael Obama, when they called her, and she's like, oh, Michael and Barack, oh, and you can look at the phone, it's like these people so fake, but it's Hollywood, y'all. It's Hollywood. Say, LJ says Hollywood's going to fake the coming alien invasion too. 100%. As a matter of fact, and I won't get into this because I don't want to upset anybody, but I will I won't even go into that. But they coordinated J6. Absolutely. More and more is coming out about J6. Now, y'all may or may not know this. Why in the world would the J6 committee destroy all of the evidence, everything that was involved in that committee? Did you know they destroyed everything that committee did? Now, Trump was so guilty, and they want to stick it to him. Why would they destroy the evidence? We know why. Oh, let me hear what she got to say.
Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
Network.
She's also conservative. She represents for Trump. But like, think about that. They destroyed all of the freaking evidence, everything from January the 6th. Everything. Why would they do that? Because they knew. And then it just so happened that Nancy Pelosi's daughter was documenting it at the same time. Because that was her HBO documentary clip that showed Nancy Pelosi saying it was her fault. Trump reached out 4 days prior, 4 days before offering 10,000 National Guardsmen. They turned them down. As a matter of fact, the head of the Capitol Police was never even brought in to testify. You know why? Because he's the one person that could link the fact of President Trump offering, Nancy Pelosi rejected. Didn't even call him in. And you got ignorant people. And when I say ignorant, y'all, I'm only meaning lacking knowledge. Nothing personal towards them. But you got ignorant people still talking about J6 saying, oh, what about the police officers that were killed on that day? It's like, what? Like, it shows that these people don't keep up with information like y'all do. Everybody knows no officer lost their life on that day. As a matter of fact, the one officer that did pass away from a heart attack days later. Now, what they don't want to talk about is those, I think it was like between 6 and 10 of the police officers who unalived themselves that was involved with the Hillary Clinton situation. Did you see that? What's the odds on between 6 and 10 police officers taking themselves out? And they all coincidentally were linked to Hillary Clinton and Pizzagate. I think it was Pizzagate, yeah. What's the odds on that? Not very high. So when they bring up this crap, oh, JC, think about the person who had the pipe. You know what? The pipe boom. Dan Bongino and them say they know who that is now. Ironic that this person was able to get there, set that up, and the Biden administration, the FBI, nobody. But they can see what the date is on a penny from a satellite on Mars, but they couldn't tell us who that person was. Poppycock, as Richard Nixon used to say. Say, are you serious? Who they do they know the shooter? Yeah, they know who the shooter is. Jizz Edwards. It's a man named Vance Boelter, and it's Vance, and Boelter is Boelter. He was a nominee, or should I say, an appointee of Tim Walz. Matter of fact, let me pull it up for y'all, because I got it right here. Let me go to it. Let's dig into this, y'all. Because I never go live. Never I go live. And I've had so many people say, Brian, why you don't go live? Why don't you go live? And I'm like, because I always want to make sure that my information is on point and that I got it for you and there's no hiccups and there's no lagging. But I decided today with everything going on, okay, let's look at this. Now, folks, feast your eyes on the individual who did it. Just announced the suspect who unalived Minnesota House Rep Melissa Hortman this morning has been identified as 57-year-old Vance Boelter. Full name Vance Luther Boelter. No King's flyers were found in the car. He was a Tim Walz appointee to one of the governor boards. Let me zoom in on this. Oh, it don't get any bigger than that. Check this out. Tim Walz, governor, notice of appointment, Vance Boelter. So they can't even try to spin it like he's MAGA or it's some Trump-related thing. And remember, I said this in the beginning of the stream. Whenever one of these pow people has a manifesto that the media does not get access to right away, and CNN and MSNBC aren't running with, that's because it was some left-wing extremist Marxist type crap in it. You already know. Because if it was anything right-wing related, it'd have been out. Let's check this out. Oh, sorry.
Are there reasons to believe that?
Damn, I wanted to get that doggone thing.
Are there reasons to believe that the events here were also targeted by the person in the manifesto in the car?
We don't have any direct links. However, there were some flyers that said no kings within the suspect vehicle. And as we know, the planned events throughout the state of Minnesota today is a no kings event.
And so the reference materials that were inside of the vehicle that we saw, we have no understanding that any of the no kings events would be targeted, but we also find it of interest to the public that these would be in there, and we want to alert everybody until we do that. Because this is such an active investigation with information not knowing right now, we feel it's an obligation to all of you and the public across the state of Minnesota to alert you of it, and that's why the colonel made the notation of we're recommending people don't go today. But the individuals are not in custody yet, and so we want to make sure as that very active manhunt is underway and continues, that we make sure that we're sharing that, and that's part of why we're making the recommendation. As to the investigation and the list, we are working through that now and talking to individuals, and we'll continue to. What I would say with the list is there's a large number of people. That's all I can say about it. We will work through all of that, what the motivations of this are, and we'll provide that as you can. This is really a public safety announcement for everybody so that we can make sure people are informed and make safe decisions throughout the day.
Wow. So as you see, and this is him, this is the radicalized individual, Vance Boelter, a Tim Walz appointee to the Board of Governors for Minnesota. Wow. I mean, can you believe this crap? There's no way they could spin this. Let's see what Tim Walz had to say on this. Let's say, I do solemnly swear that I support the Constitution. Oh, I'm getting out of that. But can you believe it? Let's see what else they're saying on it. Let me check out the rallies. But folks, this is what I mean. And I saw we got Oceanside, California in the house. Fed Up Patriot. Thank you. Appreciate you for that super chat. Let me do it with the right hand. Can't do it with the left. First live, Brian. Keep bringing the truth to the proverbial table. Will do, Patriot. Will do. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go back. We had Oceanside, California in the house. And I really, anybody else on here from California, what's going on out there in your area? Because I want to know. Like I said, I'm in Florida, so obviously we're not having that here. But I know Chicago. Let me go to YouTube and let's look and see what's going on, because they actually are showing these things live as they're coming up. But y'all, the biggest thing that I really want you to just realize is, let's see how the Democrats are going to spin it. Watch what's going to happen. MSNBC, not going to talk about it hardly. CNN, they're not going to talk about it. Or if they do, they're going to try to see live rallies. Anti-Trump protesters, military, no kings. Let's see what we got going on. This is pretty crazy to me. This is wild to me that these people, can you imagine that people coming to, let me turn that volume. Can you believe it that people come into our country? Oh, and wait till y'all hear this one. Here's what they're not telling people, but that we did find out. You know how they were waving the Mexican flag around at the LA riots? Well, these people literally have media that is working on their behalf. There's a local organization that got $34 million in taxpayer money. It's an NGO, which is a non-government organization that is supposed to be helping the Latin community, right? So these folks are out there waving the Mexican flag, and apparently the word got back that it's not a good look to be in a country waving another country's flag while demanding to be allowed to stay in that country. So do you know what they did? They actually went around and they had people coming with barrels of American flags. And they were giving people the American flags with the Mexicans ones, saying, hey, listen, when you see the media, wave the American flag. When they leave, you can put back up your flag. So these people are faking the funk all the way around. All the way around. It's the most, and y'all know that this type of stuff is not organic. You don't organically have all of these signs made, have all of the same masks, have flags everywhere, have riot gear. It's heavily funded by the Soros family, by the LinkedIn gentleman, and the Netflix radical. There's a James Sutcliffe. I knew it was a psycho dim that done that. You already know. And they're using the purge imagery, Hollywood is, because they know, remember now, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So they're using that imagery from the purge to represent what's going on in LA. That's not Americans in LA doing that. That are these paid actors and illegal immigrants. And I'm gonna get real personal here real quick, because I can only speak from my life. You should see the backlash that liberals and the Hispanic community are putting on black people. They're not calling out white folk. They're not calling out Asians. They're not calling out any other demographic. But black people, they feel like black people should run out into the streets and fight against ICE with them. And the black people are looking like, dude, we live here. We're not like, they might not like Trump, but they live here. That the fight is not our fight. Nobody's talking about deporting, black folks. Nobody's talking about deporting any Americans, but they are deporting illegal immigrants. And so now again, they're trying to make this a racial thing when it's not. It's a sovereign thing. It's our country versus people who are not from our country. Simple. But why are they trying to make this, oh, y'all got to fight with why does any American group have to fight with the illegal immigrants? And we see what it's doing to the Democrats. What did y'all think about that idiotic senator who FAFO'd, got put to the ground and put in handcuffs for acting like a lunatic at the Kristi Noem press conference. Did you see that crap? And they want to act like, oh, he was just talking so nice and just was doing his due diligence of oversight. That's the question. Brother, it was a public press conference for the press. It was not for senators. It wasn't for congressional members. He could have easily asked Kristi Noem any question he wanted. Number one, most people don't even know who that man is unless you're heavy in politics. Most people don't know that Padilla is a freaking California senator. Those guards didn't have any idea who he was. They just knew some nut job is inching up closer to the secretary, screaming at the top of his lungs. And they have different camera angles to show. They warned this man 2 or 3 times. Hey, man, tone it down. Hey, man, tone it down. But he kept moving closer and closer and getting louder. So for her safety, they had to get him up out of there. And then he wanted to try to start fighting and pushing back. These people are nuts. And they feel like he really feels like what he did was good. And that's what his constituents meant when they say fight for them. These Democrats think when their constituents are saying, hey, dude, y'all aren't doing enough, that means go make more cringy social media videos, go barge into more press conferences, or like Maxine Waters, try to force her way into buildings, into federal buildings that she don't belong in. All under the guise of, I'm a congresswoman or I'm a senator. These Democrats people believe that they're gods because they're a congressman or a senator. That don't make you a god or a goddess. That's a title. You don't have the stamp, the gold seal on being a human being. Don't make you any better than anybody. As a matter of fact, they're probably worse off morally and character-wise than somebody homeless on the street. People get on my nerves. RBI Sports, thank you for the super chat. RBI Sports says, thank God, Brian. Finally someone that someone bring you. Remind all that we the people are a republic, or certainly not a democracy. You're right. Cheers to you and God bless and stay balanced in all things. Thank you. Thank you so much, RBI Sports. And you're right. Okay, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that, man. Happy birthday, President Trump. Right on. Hey, it is happy birthday to the president. He's a Gemini. My birthday was on the 12th. I didn't even know that our birthdays were so close. Maybe that's why I like the man so much. But 3, 2, 1, funny biz. But this is insane what's happening. But yet, you ever notice how the Democrats love to say MAGA is violent? I watched Jasmine Crockett, the ghetto Congress member from Dallas with the failed district in Dallas, that's not even from Dallas. Do y'all know Jasmine Crockett is not even from Texas? She was literally installed there. She's a do-girl for Alex Soros. As a matter of fact, let me show you what I mean. See, I get to digging on these people. So when folks be coming to try to talk to me about Jasmine Crockett or any of this crap, I already know what's up with them. You're not going to pull the wool over my eyes. Check this out. Let me show you Jasmine Crockett with her good friend. Here we go. Here we go, Big Jazz with her buddy. A picture of Jasmine Crockett and Alex Soros is going viral. Now, why would Alex Soros be needing to meet with a congresswoman, and this is from this year, 2025, February 21st, why would he need to meet with a sophomore congresswoman from Dallas? Just looks creepy. Looks creepy, like he eat kittens or something. You know? But that's what's going on. Funded. Funded. These people aren't genuine. These people are faker than a $4 bill. And I'm just sick of these clowns. They get out here and they spread this hatred and this distrust. But guess what's happening? The young people, the millennials, not millennials, Gen Z, they not buying none of the BS. They stopped watching it because they're on social media. 90% of people over 60 years old still watch legacy media. the strongest propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. Gen Xers, which is what I am, that's a mixed bag. Some do watch CNN or some of that, but a lot get their information from social media. Which platforms, they differ. So the groups that are able to go to social media or to the internet and see different outlets giving different perspectives are typically the better balanced people when they're making voting decisions. But anybody that watches just straight CNN every day, all day, you already know they're a nut job. When I won't say a nut job, I'll say that they're going to be more left-leaning and somewhat biased against Trump. That's just what CNN does. If you watch MSNBC, you ready to strap something onto your body and run up someplace into some Republican building and just let it go. That's how radical they are. I watched this dude on MSNBC literally compare ICE to slave catchers. How disgusting and despicable can you be? I saw Tim Walz compare ICE to the Gestapo, a slap in the face to Jewish Americans, to the Jewish people, a slap in the face to Americans who selected President Trump. Gestapo? These are people that obviously don't know what the Gestapo really was, or they wouldn't compare it. Oh, let me show y'all this story. Now, y'all are going to get a kick out of this. So you see all of these protests, right? I'm not sure if you heard or found out what happened, but I'll show it to you. A group of people went over to Egypt, and they wanted to try to protest the Palestine-Gaza situation, and they just went into their country, and they were demanding to be let in and to cross their border and to protest for Palestinians and for Gaza. Y'all, it went so bad for these people, it's not even funny. They were beat, arrested, and deported. Check it out. Greta Thunberg, the little annoying teenager that try to tell adults what they need for, that they don't need guns. Oh, let me close this up so y'all can see it. I apologize. Man, I didn't know it was that big. But check this out. Egyptian authorities forcibly deport hundreds of pro-Palestine activists who have come to Egypt with valid passport and visas because they intended to join the Suman convoy to break the siege on Gaza. Check it out.
He has our passports. This is what happening right now. We're being forced into the plane. You can see he has our passports. This is unbelievable. And the rest of the people are still in the bus. This is what happening right now.
I think it's unbelievable because when they went to another country trying to do the protest and go in and cross their borders and get involved in their business, the fact that they were stopped and it wasn't allowed to happen. Oh, check this one out. I'm going to say FAFO. They're in another country on their soil getting involved in the Gaza Palestine as foreigners that felt like they going to come there and protest and bring the BS. Look at what happened. This says these, what does it say? These baby protesters from weak, liberal, lawless cities had no idea what was coming for them in Egypt. They thought that they was going to go over there and do all the stuff that we allowed them to do here. Yet they talk bad about America. They hate America. Yeah, but you see what happens when you go to another country trying that BS. Egyptians in Tahrir Square are protesting Gaza. Oh, the hypocrisy, considering their own country refuses to take even one Gaza refugee into Egypt. Oh, here's another one. Instagram repost. Plainclothes Egyptian police have assaulted anti-genocide activists attempting to join efforts to break the siege on Gaza. But this is what want to go over there to their country cutting the food? Cool. They're like, all right, this ain't America. When you go to them Muslim countries, they not going to play with you. See, in America, we still have Christian values. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not. So, you know, in the West, we allow that. We allow people to go crazy on our president. We allow people to key up cars. We allow people to burn buildings up in cars. We allow that. But they made a mistake in the country that they hate so much, that is so terrible and so fascist. Went to another country. There have been some, they've taken the passports of a lot of them, beat the crap out of other ones, deported some already, and there are some that are just stuck. Greta Thunberg, they grabbed her up. Matter of fact, let me show you what she had to say. Because she's a loudmouth that's always out. I can't, when a child is trying to talk to adults, look at this, protesters in Egypt threaten to die for the cause, and they just might.
Don't you dare hit him with it. Hey, oh my God, stop, hey.
Play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. These people went over there to that country, and these folks that you're looking at, they're from the UK, they're from France, they're from Australia. None that I know of were from the US. Our people knew, like, yeah, nah, I do all that wilding out here, but I ain't going over there. Sisi supporters violently assault detained activists in Egypt, attacking them with batons and water bottles after preventing their participation in the Sumo convoy's Gaza Solidarity March to Rafah. Multiple participants allege the attackers are paid regime. Let's look at this. See the ones sitting on the ground, and everybody that's on this side, those are the quote unquote protesters. I call them agitators that decided to go into that country and decide they gonna change some things and they gonna represent. Okay, you can do that. And let me just be real. I actually do applaud. I don't agree with them doing it, but at least these were folks that believed in what they believed in so much that they were willing to go over there. I don't care if somebody likes the Democrat Party. If somebody can articulate to me why, more than just Trump bad, I don't have to agree with their reasoning. But if they can articulate it and stand on it, I at least can respect them for that. Unlike most of these radical left-wing extremists, you say, why do you support the Democrats? Because Trump bad? Okay, we get that. You don't like Trump, but why do you support? Because Trump bad. Okay, well, what policies do the Democrats have that you just love? Trump bad. You're like, I get it. What policies do the Democrats have that you like? Trump bad, bigot, misogynist, racist? And you're like, dude, I'm asking you. Bigot, misogynist, that's like all they can respond is bigot, misogynist, racist, Trump bad. That's their answer for everything. It's crazy. This is what's happening, y'all, right now. So let me pull up Greta Thunberg. Wait till you see what happened to her. She decided she wanted to go and you know, do her thing. First she was anti-weapons. And as long as she was doing that, cool. But once you start trying to get into international and foreign policy, she don't know. She playing in deep waters. What a mythomaniac. Greta Thunberg lands in France and walks around with her arms alongside her body. As soon as she sees reporters, she tightens her hands behind her back to make it look like she's handcuffed. See? Look at the propaganda. No hands behind her back. Watch her walking. No hands. That is such a propagandist. I didn't see this one. Oh my God. How evil can you get? Look at her arms. And listen, you may already be aware of this, but let me hip you to some trigger words. When you hear them use words like comrade, you have to know that is Marxist. Solidarity, Marxist. What's another one? Man, it's so many. But comrade, oh, just know that's a Marxist. Yep, that's how they talk. Demonic demo rats. I call them demon rats, demo rats, all of that. Let me get into some of the chats. See what they say. Thank you, Brian Bill Patriotism. Thank you, Bobby Virgo. John Sokol. Do you feel Tim Walz would be a lot happier if he came out of the closet? I do. Because this man is bizarre. Did any of y'all hear? Matter of fact, let me just play it. Did y'all hear the answer that Tim Walz gave James Comer? Check this answer out. I thought it was AI at first, but it turned out to be, let me find it. It was one where he asked him, why did he put the, here we go. I don't know what that was. Let me see what this, let me just let this go. Exactly. Let me see here. Man, I gotta find that doggone clip because I sure enough had it. Oh no. It was hilarious. As he asked Tim Walz, man, I think they're trying to scratch this doggone thing out where you can't even find it anymore. Well, we forget about that one, but he destroyed Tim Walz. Let me let y'all check this out. I don't know if you saw. Now, Tom Emmer, I'm not sure if you're familiar with who Tom Emmer is, but Tom Emmer is a senator from Minnesota. So this is a Minnesota person talking to another. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I switched the screen. This is a Minnesota person talking to another Minnesota person. Watch Tom Emmer destroy Tim Walz. And remember, this is Minnesota on Minnesota. So this is some out-of-towner just talking.
Work with law enforcement to enforce the law. In May 2020, looting, acts of violence, and arson occurred on your watch in Minneapolis after you refused to bring in the National Guard. Governor, your agenda is clear. Free healthcare, free college and driver's licenses for illegals while handcuffing law enforcement when they're trying to protect our citizens and their communities. If you think that's not a sanctuary state, you shouldn't be governor. By turning Minnesota into a magnet for illegals, you have opened up our communities to dangerous criminals, including known terrorists, gang members, murderers, and child predators. You have sent a resounding message that if you're a hardworking, law-abiding citizen of Minnesota, your safety and well-being are not the priorities of Tim Walz and his administration. But if you're coming to our state illegally, you're not only welcome with open arms, you're entitled to free stuff on the taxpayer's dime. This is absolutely disgraceful. Governor Walz, your sanctuary state agenda has been defined by your utter failure. You have failed to enforce the rule of law. You have failed to uphold our national sovereignty. And most importantly, you have failed the people of Minnesota. The time for radical sanctuary state policy, sir, is over. The voters made that clear last November when they elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. You remember him, don't you? Governor, the time for real leaders and real leadership is now. And with that, sir, actually, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to introduce into the record the governor's tweet that I referenced from May 23rd, 2018, which makes it clear his hatred for federal law enforcement. Thank you.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Wow.
Chair recognizes Richard Fuller.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I have a unanimous consent request, and I'd like to present.
And rightfully so. What do y'all think about Tim Walz? I'm grateful that the man ran with Kamala Harris, because let's just be real. If Governor Shapiro had ran with Kamala Harris, it would be a wrap. It would be a wrap, because Shapiro did come off as more moderate. And luckily, like their own party would not allow him to get involved because he was Jewish. Now they're gonna try to downplay that, but that's just the truth. Since Tim Walz is going to gaslight the country on not wanting illegal violent aliens in Minnesota, here's the testimony of Charles Thayer. His mother was brutally beheaded at the hands of an illegal Cuban immigrant convicted of multiple crimes, never departed. Dang, I didn't know about that story. Wow. Check this crap out. Listen to this. Listen to more of this gaslighting crap from Tim Walz. He's just an idiot.
I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of them. I knew I was on the ticket.
Now I'm really curious to wonder, where was he going with this part? Hold on, I gotta run it back.
States, with the exception of Minnesota, you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of them.
You dang gonna say I was with. Yeah, you see that. Did you hear this man say that he can cold talk? Did he say cold talk to the white guys or to the guys?
I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck.
Now, this is how ignorant the Democrats are. This man just said cold talk to white guys. Not black, not Hispanic. And that's exactly why more black men voted for Trump than ever before, voting for a Republican. More Hispanics, especially males, voted for Trump than ever before. It's because of him. He's too busy trying to cold talk to white guys. Guys don't cold talk. I mean, if you with your buddy and your ladies around and your buddy might be single and he about to start talking about something, you might be like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do. You might cold talk that way for him to stop, or they call and the phone picks up in the car. And you got your significant other there, you like, yo, man, you know how it is when we don't, when you got them pineapples with you, and your boy is supposed to know what pineapples mean, the family can hear you. Something. But you're talking about as a politician, cold talk, what is he like, the white guy whisperer? You got the dog whisperer, and he's the white guy whisperer. And he failed miserably because they lost so much of the male vote. This dude is fake. He don't fix on no trucks. Did you see him when he was even out there in his truck? And it really is terrible. Matter of fact, let's remember the Democrat man commercial. What a man is, you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people forgot, what a man is. Those commercials. Let me find the man commercials. Because y'all remember those where they were having these commercials. Oh, here you go. Here it is.
Turn, buddy.
Before you...
Come on, boys. Let's make America great again. It's your turn, buddy.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
Daddy!
Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Do your patriotic duty.
You bet I did, brother.
What happens in the booth stays in the booth.
They act like there's any Democrat males running around like that waving. What Democrats do you know even honor the American flag? Do you see that propaganda? Oh, here we go. This is the man that I
Young and sweet, you are the dancing queen. Young and sweet, only 17. Dancing See that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. See that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen.
Hey, now that was funny. No, let me That was funny. That was funny. Hold on, y'all remember this? This is the best campaign ever. America, check this out.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear that Freudian slip? Listen to what she said now.
We are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
About serious about it, censoring the American people. And she is a nut job. Ayanna Presley, oh my God. She was crazy before she was bald. This campaign commercial paid for by the Democrat Party. Do y'all notice how these cars, what is the odds on these vehicles just perfectly parked on the side of the road? They just so happen to be perfectly white where you can see the graffiti on them even better. The flames just seem perfect. Now, have you ever seen a vehicle catch fire? I have, and it doesn't happen real easy just by taking a match or just, you can even throw a Molotov on it. Don't necessarily mean that it's going to work. But look at how perfect these are burning and how long they're burning. These people, these protesters, they have some of the greatest photographers, greatest rookie novice photographers you've ever seen. It almost looked like they're professionals, right? You would think so. Oh, here's my favorite. This is what I was waiting on. This is what I was looking for. Hold on. My bad.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
All the women.
Y'all, you got to check this one out. This was by far my favorite Democrat man commercial. Check this out.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
All the women here tonight. Talk to all the men that aren't here tonight. And all you brave men that are here tonight. Talk to all the other men that aren't here tonight.
Enough to cook my steak rare. Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
It's actually for all men. You know, I think men are in crisis, actually, in this country. And not all men are just at home listening to Joe Rogan, being angry or being recruited to fascism. Some just need therapy.
The definition of masculinity going forward, is it toxic masculinity or is it a different kind of masculinity?
Right.
This table is driven by women. There is masculinity, and the definition of masculinity is on the ballot. As far as your question about breaking through, I like what she did when she was talking about John McCain and giving his thumb, because she was very real. Like she's kind of let it rip a little bit.
Yeah.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors.
That Obama thing he did where he called himself chastising men, especially black men, that was it. That was the nail that as far as in the black community. It's like, who are you? Like, yeah, Obama was one of the main reasons how I became a Republican, to be honest with you. It happened in 2004. Wasn't even when he was elected. I saw through the smoke back in 2004 as a senator when they were propping him up when he spoke at the Democratic National Convention alongside Kwame Kilpatrick, who was the mayor of Detroit at the time and was running a corrupt city. And I said, damn, they got him speaking and he was destroying the city of Detroit. It made me pay closer attention to them both. And I realized Barack, whose real name is Barry Soetoro, most people don't even know that. Barack Obama's real name is Barry Soetoro. He grew up in Indonesia to a very wealthy family, went to a private high school that cost, I think, roughly around $45,000 a year at that time. How do you go to Columbia University and Harvard? You're not going there on Pell Grant. You get what I'm saying? Grandfather was ex-Alphabet Boy, CIA, allegedly.
For breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears. That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm...
Hey, I'm sorry. I know I should have let it go, but I got to go back to this dude. This dude screams at me he likes men. And hey, listen, if that's his thing, but this is not a very masculine. Dudes don't sit like this on the back of trucks. And watch look at his head gesture. Look at that. Look at that.
Accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like. Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse. I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually. Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful. That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
These people are insane, but this is why they lost men. Matter of fact, let me get out of that. Let me go back to these rallies. This is the live shot. This is what's going on right now at the No Kings in Chicago. So let's see what the volume is talking about. This is what you see. You see them people that got the clue. They got paid. They got the That's Chicago. You notice what you don't see? Young people. Look at this. Look at that. I'm telling y'all, these rallies are not going to be, these rallies are not going to be all of that like they thought. The rallies aren't going to be what they thought they were going to be. It's just not. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to jump on here. Y'all come in and, let me get some shout outs, make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Was that his mother was a CIA political transit? Exactly. Who was that? That was Scott Wickoff. You get it. They all have a little sugar in their tank. Robert Bell said he wanted rain today. Did you see that clip of Tim Walz saying he wanted it to rain? Sucker, hater. Who was the fat SOB with the bucket? we all wonder who he is. As a woman, I don't need men to change so I can feel comfortable. Learn some skills if you feel uncomfortable and seek therapy. Right, FOB loyalty. Linda, I know, Josie, I apologize if I got it wrong. They are targeting the autistic people, the highly emotional. And you know what? I really do believe that. And let me tell you something else I believe, y'all, and I might be wrong. But I believe that the jab, I really honestly, truly believe there was something with that. Because how do people who were rational thinkers 10 years ago literally think it's okay to start fighting for men to compete in women's sports? How do rational thinking people start believing that men can have babies? And I don't want to hear this crap about it. Oh, it's a female who became a male. And so since she's a transgender man, that means men have been. No, it doesn't. Matter of fact, let me find that Tim Walz clip. I'm sorry, because I'll go to my own video. Let me see. Let me pull up my own video, and because I know I got it on there. Because I want to show this, and then I think you'll get a kick out of that. Hold on, let me get to it. You will find humor in it. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm on it right now. Oh, here we go. I found it. All right. Let me show this. This is one of my own videos. Oh no, we're gonna get it. Let me that because I could.
But it was real. Okay, so let me get this straight. You put tampons on boys' bathrooms because of personal reasons. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and may I ask what reasons are those? I mean, do you have like a trans lesbian whatever in your family, sir?
No, sir. I don't have any trans lesbians in my family at the moment.
So what reason do you have for putting tampons on boys' bathrooms all across your state, sir?
Well, to be honest, one day I saw a tampon in our bathroom and I thought, why not? So I tried it on and it kind of felt nice back there. You know, it kind of gave me a little extra pep on my step, if you know what I mean.
That. Yo, these people are insane. These people are nuts. These people are crazy. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all deciding to hang out with me some on this Saturday. Stay prayed up. It's wild out here. You got people taking the lives of politicians, and I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, Independent. Nobody deserves nobody should risk their life being taken for political differences. Now, again, some political choices and decisions can cost a lot of people their well-being and lives, and those have to be dealt with accordingly. But just because you disagree with somebody, you want to take their life, I'm not with that. I feel like anybody that's got to resort to violence because you're unable to articulate a point of view in a manner that's attractive to other people, that gets people on your side, that's shame on that individual. The Democrat Party are horrible salespeople. Why? Because none of them have ever been in business. They're politicians. They're liars. And the one great thing about President Trump, he's got people paying attention now. People are paying attention to politics in ways that it never happened before. And I'm excited and I'm happy. Thank you, Robert. What Robert say? Oh, thank you for the super chat, my brother. I really do appreciate it. All right, good people. I'm up out of here. And I'm gonna be posting some videos. I'm gonna be sharing some things, especially what's going on out there. There's another story that just broke involving this shooter out there in Minnesota, as far as some more of the political ties that he had. And let me see, it was something else. There's another one. Oh, I don't know if y'all heard about Letitia James and the assault allegations against her. You know that's coming. I'm gonna be working on that. And yeah, I know it's Father's Day, but listen, man, my main thing is making sure I got the good content to share with y'all. That's what's important to me. And you might think it's not just a superficial statement either. I mean it. When I put together these videos and I put it out there, I look at the comments y'all leave. I read them. I try to respond to as many as I can personally. Some of y'all know that. And you can tell it's me or you can tell it's real because I'll put your name in it just to make sure you know this is genuine. And that's thousands. I greatly appreciate you all taking time out of your day to watch a video that I put out or to spend time with me right now like you are. It matters. And I thank you and I salute you with both hands. I really do. But hold on, I done got lost sighted, got all emotional. Hold on, let me see. Oh, my video is about the Boston mayor. I won't tell you what. You might try to go look at it, but you might not find it. And what's going on with Letitia James. So be on the lookout. And even if you are subscribed to the channel, because I know right now, especially with my topics being like anti-Democrat, YouTube does not notify you on every video. Depends on the topic. YouTube favors the Democrats. Y'all know that. So please make sure that you hit the notification bell and you select all. Even if you're already subscribed, you can go right over to it, hit all, and that way it ensures that you get notified when I upload new videos. But Other than that, if you all are in one of these states or cities that is having protests, please be careful. Please be careful. Don't let a fool trick you off the street. Don't let a fool trick you off the street. You know, because at a distance, anybody watching two people argue at a distance can't tell which one is the idiot and who's the wise person. So be careful, be safe, and you stay great. I'm Brian Maxwell, y'all. I look forward to seeing you at the top and on the next video. Take it easy, good people. Thank you, Grass Steve. Appreciate you. The Lord loves you too. 1.3 thousand likes on the video so far. Thanks, LJ. Hey, we did good on the like tip. U.S. veteran. Thank you for your military service, Beth S. I appreciate you. Mary Dixon, excellent and informative discussion. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for tuning in. OD Green member. God bless you and happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all my brothers out there, fathers. And just salute to the moms. Y'all know y'all get love all the time. I love the mothers. Father, your dads, y'all know. On Mother's Day, you can't get a spot in the restaurant. Every place is filled up, sold out. On Father's Day, you can take your pick. You can go anywhere you want. It's not going to be too packed. On Mother's Day, sales galore. On Father's Day, not too many. Unless you have an awesome family, sometimes being a father could be a thankless job. Because if you're a woman taking care of your family, they say you're strong and independent. If you're a man that provide a good life for your family, they say you're supposed to. You know, so I salute all my fathers. And thank you to the ladies on here who's giving props to the Father's Day. That's awesome. Arthur Nelson, hey, Brian, love the channel. Been watching for a while. First time seeing it live. Thank you for being a great American. Thank you, Arthur, and thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a great patriot. Thank you for tuning in and watching with us. Robert Bell, this is the first live show I've called, but I do watch every one of your videos. I've been subscribed since finding the channel. Keep up the great videos. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you, brother. William Everett Witt, we know these traitors are all paid to be out there, and all these men saying they're man enough to say they're all lovers, right? How is that manly to say you're a lover of men? No, it's another word for it. I won't use it because back in the day, I could have used it. In the early 2000s and in the 90s, I could have said it. Today, if I say it, I would get tremendous backlash. There's a word for that. Lifetime subscription. Grass Deep, thank you, man. You are a gem. Thank you, Oliver Johnson, the third. OJ3. Robert Hyatt, a dim, unaliving other dim. Can you imagine that? Radicalized fools. Linda, I know Joseph. I know Joseph. Dang it, I did not like Linda H. Thank you, and God bless you. Day, Will Ash, damn right. Like the real man were born before the 80s. 78, baby, here. And hopefully their sons will follow suit and this country will be no more. And that's them. My son, I got a son that's serving in the military right now. My youngest son, Anthony, he's stationed out in Everett, Washington. And Brian Jr. just got out of college, got his apartment, his own place, got his job. And right now, you know, he's earning around between 35 and 40,000 a year. It's his first gig out of college. So I told him, I said, bro, you're 24. I said, you're doing that. Trust me. Well, he just turned 25. I said, bro, trust me. You're doing all right. And of course, I help out, but I force them to earn it. Just because we got money and resources don't mean I just give it to them. No, I'm there to help because I see you push it and I want to help you succeed. But if my sons weren't doing what they're supposed to do, man, please. You know what I'm saying? They better go have a Coke and a smile and go sit somewhere and talk to somebody that's going to get them some cheese to go with that wine that they're doing. No, but luckily they stepped up. We have to create the next generation of men to protect this country because please believe the left is doing it. They're working on their next generation right now. They already know they're losing this fight. And that's one thing about them. I realize they be steps ahead. For us to even get to where we are now, men and women's sports and all this crazy, it didn't happen overnight. They systematically worked on people to the point to where by 2020, if you looked at those numbers, a large majority of the population was cool with people coming over. Matter of fact, they were saying that Trump was evil for trying to put up a border wall. Remember that? The Democrats were skilled enough with the media over time to just work on people, and had them voting against their own well-being. Had them slander President Trump over the wall. And now, look, people are demanding and clamoring for a wall. That's why we got to be careful of what we allow with Democrat leadership. because their policies will beat the people down so much that the people would just demand a leader to do something. And if it's not the right leader in place, imagine if President Trump was a left-leaning, deceptive person with the way everything going on and the way the people were demanding him to take control. Imagine if he was that way. We would have been screwed. And it would have been because we demanded it. Luckily, we demanded it because we knew his character. The man put his life on the line for us. But also, even scarier thought, imagine what it would have been like if on November the 6th, when we woke up, if we would have saw President Kamala Harris and Vice President Tim Walz. Can you, I mean, and when I say this, I'm saying this with all seriousness right now. Can you imagine what this country will be like right now? If the Democrats are fighting this hard on trying to get rid of the illegals, imagine what they would have done if they were in leadership and in control of the presidency, the Senate, and the House. I believe every conservative media writer and outlet would have either been harassed or arrested. All that stuff that they say Trump was going to do, oh, Trump want to arrest journalists, doing this, is all things that the Democrats really do and really want to do. But hey, listen, I'll just keep going. If I just let me jump off here, man. Hey, listen, love y'all, appreciate y'all. Make sure that you subscribe. Salute to you, and just thank you again. I appreciate it. You've been threatened by YouTube? What? Oh my God. Thank you, Janine Marie. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. You're right. Dodge the bullet with comment. It's scary, ain't it? Scary. Speaking of that, Diddy Crats, yeah. Y'all know that allegedly Hakeem Jeffries attends freak-off or sex parties, likes them, that are communist themed with young Latin men dressed as Fidel Castro and the revolutionary Che Guevara with cigars doing tricks. You imagine it, well, don't imagine it, fellas, but cigars, young Latin men, sex party, Hakeem Jeffries. It's wild. And like I said, Letitia James. Wait till you see this information that I dug up on her. But they think P. Diddy is something. Wait till we get through digging into these people. But hey, y'all, I know I keep saying I'm about to get off here. I really like this. I really enjoy this, kicking it with y'all and checking out the comments, man. We got to do this more often. As a matter of fact, I'm going to set it up and I'm going to start a set days that I'm going to do this and we go live. And Michael Wheeler, what's up, man? There you go, baby. Got your super chat. Oh, let me go to my man Michael Wheeler's super chat. Sorry. We got extra super chats. I apologize. Michael Wheeler, tell Karen Perry on air I love her, my baby. Karen Perry, Michael Wheeler loves you. You are his baby. That was cute. That was sweet, man. All right. Reality Access. Thank you for your brilliant work to combat the forces of darkness and to help President Trump to make America great again. Thank you, Reality Access. Thank you. Hey, Michael, was she still in here? I hope I didn't miss it, man, and I didn't wait too long. I apologize. I just seen it. It's so many that come through. I hope I was able to get it on there, and she saw it. Debbie Cloyd, you're right. Obama deported way more illegals. And we talking about just like 10 years ago. Within 10 years, Obama was doing it. Obama left, what, in 2016? And Schumer and Pelosi thought it was the greatest thing in the world then. Oh my, what a short time difference makes. Thanks, Jane. All right, y'all. How is Jeffrey still putting his face in front of the camera? Because the Democrats don't care. Remember now, y'all see it. These people will lie, gaslight with no shame, and then the next day tell you that it didn't happen. It's wild. It's wild. But hey, God bless. Thank y'all, man. All the best to you. I'm going to check y'all out soon. I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.